Hey, John Hickok here. I'm gonna do a fun little video on the M60 for you and kind of go through some of the safety issues with the M60, which speaking of that, let me make sure I put the safety on. Wow, I guess this thing has a mind of its own. What happened there? Okay, I know exactly what happened there. This is actually, you're not fooled, you saw the title of the video. This is a how not to shoot an M60. And you just saw how not to shoot an M60. You may have not known exactly how not to. So we're gonna go up to the shooting table. And I'm going to explain it better so you guys can understand how to avoid this serious mishap with your M60s at home. Okay, so now that we're back at the table, I can explain a little more clearly exactly what happened. So what you saw there was a runaway gun, as they call it, which basically there was nothing to stop the firing of this gun, right? So the sear is in the grip here, and this is the operating rod which connects to the bolt. It's an open bolt system. So essentially what happened was this grip was holding back the operating rod, and when I take the safety off, when I pull the trigger, it moves down and allows that to go freely and will continue to fire until I release the trigger, and then it catches in that groove right there. So what essentially happened was when I removed the group, the trigger, the grip and the trigger group, was there was nothing to stop it, right? So this gun is just going to keep going over and over and over until I run out of ammo. Now there's a few different ways you can have a runaway gun, of course, but essentially you have two choices when you get a runaway gun. You can do what they call ride the lightning, which is exactly what you saw me do, which is just let the belt finish and you just hold it in a safe direction and hope for the best, right? Which is what I did, and we knew that was going to happen, so we put a short belt on there. Another method, if you have a longer belt and it's a more serious situation and it's not a planned video that you're making, you grab the belt and twist it, yank it, break it off, whatever you have to do to jam up the gun and stop it as quickly as possible. Now we're here on a controlled range, and so that wasn't really necessary. Okay, so the way that what you just saw can happen, and did occasionally happen in the field with these M60s, and this is the early Vietnam version, is, let me show you. So the way the grip attaches, I can't lock the bolt to the rear because there's nothing to hold it back. So the way this grip attaches, it goes down here in the receiver, push that back, right? And then there's a pin right here that comes across this side. Get this guy in there. Sometimes you gotta get it lined up. Okay, there we go. All right, so that's what holds it in. That's what holds the grip on, this pin right here. And then you have this flat spring, and it connects right there. There's a little teeth going there. And then it has a little bit of tension on it. See, it's got this, if you can see on camera, it's got this slight bend in it, which gives it just a little bit of tension. Push down, and then sometimes you gotta hit on it with something. Use this little brass, and there we go. So what would happen in the field is soldiers would pry them off with screwdrivers. They didn't have the right tools to get them off, or didn't know how to get them off. They'd bend them, and then this would just fall off at some point, and then you just have this loose pin that is not captured. It's not like a AR-15 where you have the captured pin to separate the lower receiver. It will just fall right out, and it could fall out and you lose your grip and you don't realize it, and then now you have a gun that's inoperable, or it comes out while you're firing, and what you just saw there, you get a runaway gun, which could be a very bad situation depending on what the gun is pointed at and what's happening down there, right? So all in all, how not to shoot your M60: make sure your grip stays attached, right? And take off this properly. If you're removing it, I didn't show how to remove it. If you're removing it, it's very simple. Just kind of take a hammer like that, knock it up, and it comes right off, right? And you're not going to damage it. The main thing is you do not want to bend it in any way. It just goes straight up and straight back on there. Okay, so you guys that have M60s, and I know most of you do, make sure you're aware of that, so you don't have to ride the lightning outside of a Metallica concert. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed that little how not to, and I'll see you next time.